Hare Krishna. Chapter 7 is a really wonderful introduction to Bhakti Yoga. As I had mentioned, the 6 chapters from 7 on are about Bhakti Yoga. And, the question comes up that, all right, well, how do you practice Bhakti Yoga? Okay, we already talked about chanting, and chanting is the main aspect of Bhakti Yoga. Uh, Repeating the Maha Mantra in japa or kirtan. Uh, is there something else? Well, if you remember the first verse of the 7th chapter, then in Sanskrit, Krishna said, Maya sakta manaparta yogam yujad madashraya. He said that you should think of me with affection while practicing bhakti. So now he's actually given both a engagement of the mind to think and affection, which means an engagement of the heart. Now, how do you practice that? And what is it that develops affection for the Supreme, love for the Supreme? So I'm just going to read a sequence of a few verses and comment in between. And you'll see the unique feature that Krishna introduces about Bhakti Yoga that makes it, unlike other yoga systems, Hatha Yoga and so on, practicable anywhere. In the office, in lockdown, wherever we are, whatever we're doing, whether we're lunching, you can practice Bhakti Yoga at any time by exercising a certain type of thinking and intellectual practice. What is that? Okay, let's start with the first verse, and I'll just read the Sanskrit for the first and then the translation for the others. This is the 7th verse for those of you who've got Bhagavad Gita in front of you. For those of you who don't, well, please bring it in front of you. And for those of you who don't have a Bhagavad Gita, please get one. Krishna says, Mata parataram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre mani gana iva. O conqueror of wealth, there's no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Oh, that's really beautiful, isn't it? So, of course, there are two real statements here. Krishna is reiterating something that we're going to hear in the Bhagavad Gita, that he says, there's no truth superior to me. If we're talking about the Supreme is that beyond which nothing is supreme. And he's making this very elementary, but at the same time, very deep point. Now, how is it that we can practice bhakti, and how is it that we actually relate with Krishna? How do we think of him? He says, everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Now, I don't have pearls, but I have beads. And the principle is the same. These beads are strung on a thread. So Krishna says, everything, sarva, all that be, whatever that exists, he is the thread, the common thread that's keeping everything together. That means this building that I'm in, that is, in one sense, Krishna. It's his energy, and he is maintaining it. The telephone I'm talking to, the medium through which you're seeing, Krishna is within everything. And everything that we have, namely our bodies, our family, whatever you have, you use in this world, is being maintained by him. Therefore, the first way of thinking about the Supreme is to be thankful. To be thankful for everything that we have, including our ability to speak, to hear, to see, to think. Everything is coming to him, from him, excuse me. He is the common thread that links everything. That means anything I look at, I can be thinking about Krishna, I can be grateful that I have this. Now I'm not talking about the things that men interfere with and cause all kinds of chaos. So everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So Bhakti Yoga starts with this type of intellectual practice that whatever I see, I actually see that this is the energy or the potency of the Supreme, and I can be thankful for those things because they facilitate my life, and my life facilitates my practicing Bhakti Yoga. Now Krishna continues. I'm the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I'm the sound in ether and the ability in man. So these are further sadhana or practice that Krishna is giving for Bhakti Yoga. I'm the taste of water. There is no one who's watching me who doesn't drink water. If they didn't, they wouldn't be watching me, or they won't be pretty soon. Everyone drinks water. But what is that taste? Krishna says, I'm the taste in water. Remember, he's as pearls are strung on a thread. He is that thing that makes water tasty, that quenches our thirst. That's Krishna. So when I'm drinking a glass of water, or for that matter, I'm drinking anything, I can think, now this is Krishna. So, and of course, not only that, I'm the light of the sun. And the sun is shining today, but the sun shines every day. Sometimes it's covered by clouds. But he is the light of the sun. And we're dependent on the light of the sun because everything that we have, the food that we eat, the electricity that flows in the wires, is all the light of the sun converted in different ways. But he says, I'm the light of the sun. I'm the thread that ties that light of the sun together. And the moon. I'm the syllable Om in Vedic mantras. Those of you who chant Vedic mantras, Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Pada Sada Pashanti Suraya. He says, I'm the syllable Om. That is a impersonal or a letter representation of the Supreme. It's different in a sense because it doesn't relate different from the names of the Supreme or the mantras that are the names. It is also a mantra, but it's not a mantra that represents the personal characteristics. I'm the sound in ether, and I'm the ability in man. Everyone has some ability. Where did you get it from? I was born with it. Well, evolutionists will say that it evolved. We don't particularly buy into that, but whether it evolved or not, it didn't come from us. It came from somewhere else. And someone established a way that it would evolve. So the abilities that we have, the ability in a musician, the ability in an author, the ability in a painter, the ability in a mathematician, all of these things, like pearls, are strung on a thread. So when we do something and we're blessed with an ability to do that, that's coming from him. He says, I'm the original, this is the next verse, this is verse 9. I'm the original fragrance of the earth, the heat and fire. I'm the life of all that lives, and I'm the penance of aesthetics. So I'm closing with this, the fragrance of earth. That when we smell a flower, that's the fragrance of the earth transformed. And obviously you take a little earth and you smell it, it also has a nice scent. I'm the heat and fire, the thread that goes through everything. I'm the life of all that lives. So we smell something, we smell a flower, we think of Krishna. We are heated or we're cooled. These things are all He. This means everything that transpires can always be reminding us. And because we're reminded, because number one, we're grateful, and the other one, we see that we're surrounded by Krishna. Therefore, we can be thinking of Him, and we can be thinking of Him affectionately, because we're thinking out of obligation. So Bhakti Yoga is very practicable, and this is a practical sadhana that we can all think of employing. That's it for today. Hare Krishna.